Welcome back to Southwest Yard and Garden. I'm Curtis Smith. A lot of people want to know what are they going to do with the things they've grown in the garden. Some people grow gourds. And Jim Sice is an artist when it comes to turning plain simple gourds into a work of art. Jim, thanks for coming to show us what you do.
It's a pleasure to be here today.
We've got a lot of gourds here.
Okay, yeah, we have many different things that you can do with gourds. You know, sometimes people gourd gourds and they want to know what in the world should I do with them. But there are many different crafts that you can make from them. Let's talk about this one here. This is called a loofah sponge. It's a type of gourd, and it has a lot of fiber. In fact, all of these gourds have fibers inside of them. And you know, they belong to the cucurbit family, and that includes melons and squash and pumpkins, and all of those have a fiber in there. Sometimes they're not as evident as they are in gourd. But when you get this loofah, what you can do is, if it's in this stage here, you can soak it in water, and it's really stinky when you do that, and you let all the inner tissue rot away. Or when it's still green, you can cut it into small sections and freeze it, and then you take out all the pulp that's inside there, and then you have something like this. And women like to use this. They say that when you take a bath and you sponge yourself with this, that it gives you a beautiful glow. I don't know about that, but I know that they really sell very well. But this fiber is in there. After you've taken the fiber out, you can put a light bleach solution, and it turns this real nice white color. They make real nice gifts and something that women really like, and they do cost quite a bit in the store. So that's one of the things you can do with gourds.
Jim, would a man use this?
They can use it too,
I know
yes.
these days a lot of people are using it to exfoliate, take off
It takes
rough
off
skin.
all that outer skin on it. Okay, another thing that you can do with gourds, when you get a gourd, it looks like this. You need to let it cure out and dry, and you can take out all the outer shell. It has an outer shell on it that you can look at, and you can sand it off. Usually what I do is I soak it in water, and I probably put a wet towel around it until it loosens it, and I have to remove all that outer shell. When I get it to about that stage, then it looks like this. And as you can see that I've taken most of that out, and then I will sand it very, very well. After I have done that, then I can do other things with it. I can cut it, carve it, and do all different kinds of stuff. Here's a long neck gourd, as you can see here, and this one here has been scooped out, and many people use them for arrangements in here, and it works very well. Another thing you can do is to cut the top off of one of the gourds, and then I spray paint it in the inside with black spray paint, and then I draw my design on there, and I paint it using acrylic paints.
Acrylic.
So this would be what you would use. I usually use a black, and then usually a rust color, and white if I'm going to use white on it.
How do you choose the pattern or the design that you use?
Well, I sometimes make them up. Sometimes I collect pottery, and I like Indian pottery and the Indian designs, and so I'll adapt them to put on the gourd, and that's how I get the design. And so it works real well. Inside here, as we mentioned before, there is a fiber, and you need to take all that fiber outside there, and there's a lot of seeds inside there. But they're really lightweight, and you will last for years and years and years this way. Many years ago, we used to use the dipper gourds, and the dipper gourds can be used for water. And people use these, and they last for a long time. They're very, very durable. And then we have some more little small gourds over there that we have, and these are little scoops of various kinds. Just about the time that these are almost dry, I usually cut them off and sand them and take out all the interior. And they sell these as scoops, and many people like to use them just as scoops and use them for various projects that they have.
Okay. Interesting. Pretty.
Then we have the warded gourds, and the warded gourds look like this. This is one of the warded gourds. This is real nice, and it's lightweight.
This one's heavy.
This one's heavy because it hasn't dried out yet. And in the warded gourds, many times you use them just as decorations around the holiday season, and they work out real well. Or you could use something like this, and this is a gourd that's been hollowed out, and I just made like a little bird nest inside there. So there's many different crafts and projects that you could have using gourds.
And what are these right here, Jim?
Well, I'm a person that's very frugal. I don't like to get rid of things. But when I cut the top off, I thought, gosh, what could you do with this? Well, you can use them as a Christmas decoration, and I'm going to use these to hang in a wreath. And I would hang them in a wreath and put a little bell inside them. And so that's what I did with this. This one here is one that I carved, and I carved this when it was fully mature, but it was still green. And I carved it, and then I used a carving tool to make a design in it. And so we have something here.
And that's painted as well?
No, it's not painted.
It's not?
I'm using natural. What I left here was some of the natural outer skin on it because it was a real nice color. And then I carved off in between here and took out all the material in here. And so that's what I have there. They give you that different colored look. So there's many different things that you can do with gourds. They're very exciting and fun. Each piece you think about, what can I do with that? You know, some people make penguins out of them, and there's many different projects.
You can even just do this, take them even before they're drying or while they're drying and use them for decorations with corn, flowers, and cornucopia.
That's correct.
Jim, thank you very much.
It's been my pleasure.